Hello, class. Um, brief reminder, next week is spring break. Hopefully you have something fun planned. If not, be happy to jump ahead here on chemistry. But before I get into it, let's talk about dinosaur diets. This is one thing that I love about chemistry. That's such a broad topic and has its tentacles and various things, and we can use chemistry to help us figure out what dinosaurs ate. And I picked this one because I think it's kind of cool, dinosaurs, and also it shows you like how we do science and how we're trying to infer things and knowledge from data, and specifically talks about the Spinosaurus. And I didn't see Jurassic Park 3. It mentions Jurassic Park 3, but I guess that's an animal, a dinosaur that was in that movie. Also, if you get Netflix, there's a dinosaurs thing right now on Netflix. I started watching it, but I got a little bored. But it's like Planet Earth, but dinosaurs. How can we infer diets of dinosaurs? And I mean, they've been dead for tens to hundreds of millions of years. And so what can we gain from the fossils, and what do we do? We're looking at isotopes. So remember what isotopes are. They're elements. They have the same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons. And these different numbers of neutrons, we can infer certain information from this. The first part of the article talks a bit about carbon isotopes and the different types of C3 and C4. I didn't know this. I had to look up what this is, and it has to do with how the plants fixate carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. And although the article here mentions that there's really only C3 plants back in the ages of the dinosaurs, so this is kind of a moot point. But this shows you like, oh, okay, we can tell certain things about contemporary animals, or maybe animals that haven't been dead for as long, by certain things like carbon levels and nitrogen as well. But this doesn't work necessarily for the dinosaurs, so they have to go further and look at calcium. And the different ratios of calcium tells us whether or not this is an herbivore or a carnivore. They didn't mention any omnivores. I don't know my dinosaurs. I mean, of course, there are a few omnivores here. And I mean, but the omnivores tend to be very, very successful. I mean, we're omnivores. Bears and rats are also omnivores, and we're all fairly prolific. So, and it's interesting. They're looking at the different isotopic ratios. They're also looking at zinc, also looking at strontium. I know, but it talked a bit about calcium, and looking at hydroxyapatite. So where is that? Hydroxyapatite is a mineral. And that was interesting to say. I didn't know. I mean, it makes sense, but your bone enamel and your teeth enamel are all hydroxyapatite. Although many of us we take in fluoride, so the at least our teeth has the hydroxyapatite. It's a calcium phosphate OH hydroxide, and in your teeth the fluorine will replace the hydroxide, and then that makes it's a harder material, and it's also less soluble. So it's good to have fluorinated hydroxyapatite in your teeth. But what we have, right? So you smile, you're looking at my hydroxyapatite right there, and it's also thicker in your teeth than it is in your bones. So using this and the dinosaurs, they're looking quite a bit at their teeth. And it's kind of cool, some of the things they found. Like one of them is that the sharks, they have the same diets more or less, comparing megalodon sharks to great white sharks. I thought that was kind of cool that they have that the sharks haven't changed. I mean, sharks even predate trees, so they're already at their maximum scariness level, right? I'm afraid of sharks myself. So, but this is interesting. I like the last sentence though, in talking about the data and specifically the Spinosaurus. Turns out that it had a bit of a pescatarian diet, so it was eating fish. So that it wasn't the various diets shown in like I didn't see the movie, so I don't know. But I like this the last sentence. But perhaps Jurassic Park is entitled to a bit of artistic license. So, like, okay, that's an interesting sentence to end the article. I had a good laugh at that. So yeah, and although the article goes through and explains this is why we believe this Spinosaurus had a fish diet. But I mean, part of me, maybe I'm just a scientist. I'm still like wondering, like, well, I mean, what you said makes sense, but we really don't know. So it's still kind of, to me, it's kind of in the hypothesis category. Although it makes sense. I mean, there is evidence for it. It's kind of well, we think that it's kind of like dinosaurs covered in feathers. I know that's one of the critiques I would have on the Netflix special on dinosaurs. There's not really that many feathers on the dinosaurs. I'm like, I thought they were covered in feathers. I thought it would have been really cool to see, like a big pterodactyl all, plumed out in feathers. But I guess they just didn't have that. So, or maybe I didn't see it far enough in the show. So we'll see. Well, I hope you enjoy this article and think about how we know things, why we know them, and it's kind of cool. You can use chemistry to ask some of those questions you never thought you'd ask, like what did dinosaurs eat? So, and that's kind of cool that they can infer from just isotopic ratios of their hydroxyapatite that's preserved in their teeth that we can get some sort of a general idea of what they could have eaten. And also, I didn't know that they did this for contemporary. I know contemporary means now, but just you can even say modern. Modern is 1950, right? Well, although modern we usually say, and this is modern times, but I mean the current Holocene. Okay, we'll say Holocene. So that's our kind of our geological age, the Holocene. So looking at the Holocene with the animals and what from isotopic ratios you can infer on other animals' diets and where they are in the food chain. So that's interesting. Well, it also works for plants and animals. So, well, I hope you enjoy the article and makes you think more about chemistry, and hope you can dream about your spring break plans. And although I was around when the original Jurassic Park came out, so maybe I'm letting you know my age here. I think it was 1993 when that came out, and there was all the like, oh no, Jurassic Park is scary kind of thing. So, but anyways, hope you're doing well. Hope you're dreaming big with your plans, whether they be to catch ahead with work, to just chillax, or to go somewhere fun. So, I hope it's productive in whatever sense that means for you for spring break. And I'll still be around if you have any questions. I'll still check my email. I won't hold office hours though during that. But also, as always, end my videos for you if you need anything. If you're dealing with a lack of basic needs, if you're dealing with mental health challenges, if you're dealing with some sort of academic concern or other, if you need someone else, let me reach out to me if you want to, and I'll do what I can to help. So, goodbye.